All right, so I'm live here with Julia, and I'm going to today cover methods. And in order to do that, I'm just going to share my screen and get right into it. So we'll go through here, and I'm going to do this. Okay, so Julia, let's go through here. Julia getting started. All right, so I got this, and I'm going to launch my code space. Now, one thing I did hear that I want to try that I haven't really played around with yet is I want to use code spaces for Julia, which I've heard is actually not bad. So if we go to code spaces, or I'm sorry, Copilot for Julia. But first, let's pull up the docs. So Julia docs. Go to here and we'll go to the methods. So mostly I want to cover methods here, but I think it would be interesting to experiment with Copilot with it. And so I'm going to go over to extensions. And in fact, we see that it's installed. Okay, so Copilot is installed. And now what I want to do is see what it can do with Julia, because I haven't really played around with it, if I remember. So let's call this touch explore methods. I don't know the style guide if you're supposed to do camel case or whatever, but I'm just going to make a mess. And then I always forget, is it comments or probably look like, let's try this. We'll say build a method in Julia. No, build a method that adds two numbers. See what happens. No clue. Okay. Now I don't know the difference between a method and a function. Let's make sure I understand this first. So recall from functions that a function is an object that maps blah, 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 blah. It's common despite this to facilitate blah, blah, blah. So to facilitate many different implementations of the same concept, functions need not be defined all at once, but can rather be defined piecewise by providing specific behaviors. Certain combinations of argument types and counts. A definition of one possible behavior for a function is called a method. Thus far, we've presented only examples of functions defined with a single method. However, the signatures of the method definitions can be annotated to indicate the types of arguments in addition to their number, or more than a single method definition may be applied. When a function is applied to a particular tuple of arguments, thus the overall behavior. Okay, so Julia allows the dispatch of process using all the, I don't know. I don't know if I understand this totally. I understand a method in object-oriented programming, but do they mean the same thing? I guess. So when defining a function, one can apply constraints. A function, the definition applies only applying to other arguments result in method error. For non-numeric. So it seems a simple concept. Multiple dispatch is perhaps the single most powerful feature of Julia. So this seems important for me to know this. so I don't yet understand why methods are so helpful in Julia. It's an example to define a set of function methods that is no unique to combination of values, blah, 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 blah. Generic function with two methods. So G here with one method, with two methods. Let me see here. Why do I not understand this? So this is O. So this, how do I use this? A method in Julia dispatches to a variant of a function based on the type of the arguments. Yeah, I guess I need to just try this out. G2, G2, G2. Let's try this. I mean, that's the best I should probably document this too. So just say, um, uh, try this out, something like that. Now, is that a comment? Or is that a comment? That looks like a comment. That looks like a comment. So I'm gonna just type in Julia, and the first thing that I see, and let's play with this. Of generic function with one method. It's interesting how it even says it. It says a generic function with one method. And then I do it again. I say generic method function with two methods. Okay. And then I do this. G 2.0 3. Well, this is obviously the float. And then this is the regular integer. And then if I do it again, we swap. So we have the integer and then the float, which this seems magical to me. Not sure why I care about this. This seems very weird. But this, and then if I say method error, it's ambiguous. Candidates, yeah. So I guess this is a deep topic that will take a little bit of time to discover. Okay, I see. It's ambiguous. So it must be like intercepting that I guess a method can be called many different ways with the same name, which is strange to me. Which I guess you want that. I mean, that seems like you don't want that, but and this is a generic method function with three methods. Wow. Holy smokes. So you even though it's the same name, you can call it three totally different ways, which does blow my brain a little bit because I wouldn't do that in another language, but they're telling me it's good. So okay. So I mean it's interesting. I mean, I guess if I was going to build this now in a script, I could try it, right? I could go through here and I could do, let's try this out. Let's see if I do this here. We don't need that. So, and we could say like single method or single one method. So we say single method and then multiple method. Watch, does it grab the documentation? I think it does. That's pretty cool. We could say triple three methods. I don't think that is three methods. Well, first of all, we need to make this a G. And we need to do this generic function with three methods. Let's try that. There we go. So two methods, three methods. And then we could say call the function. What does it pronounce? It says generic function with three methods. So call the function all three ways. Is that right? But no, it should, because this is, oh yeah, this is the first one. Well, it didn't do it in the order of, if we want to make it do it in the proper order, we would do this. We would say that would be 1.0. That would be 2. This one would be, no, we don't want that. We want, let's actually take the actual documentation that they showed me, which is this. Let's get this. That's not what I want. So we want the y is the float, the x is the float, both are floats. So it's going to be here. This will be 1. This will be 2.0. And then if I run this, it should run all 3. Okay, let's do that. Julia methods. But I need to print them all. And so we want to print, see if Copilot will help me print function all 3 ways. It doesn't show the print. I think I just do prints. I remember my Julia. Let's see if this will work. Let's do this. There we go. So that works. Let's add print here. So I guess that's interesting. I mean, interesting concept to be able to define function that accepts different variations. I mean, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, it is interesting. I guess now that I think about it, and Jeremy mentioned as well, it's an interesting concept. And I could even say, like, here we could say print ln. This is a function for methods. That. And then if we did ln, this should make a line break. Okay. Okay. So interfaces. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Okay. Well, that was kind of fun to play around with. And the method definitions can optionally have type parameters qualifying the signature. The first method applies whenever they're both arguments. Interesting. Huh. Redefining methods. Sometimes it's necessary to get around this. Design patterns with parametric methods. All stuff that looks interesting. But I personally like the idea of coming back to that. Although this is interesting. Function like object methods are associated with types, so it's possible to make any Julia object callable. No, I have done this in Python where I can make things callable by using the under callable. So that is kind of a cool concept. That's beyond my skill level to even understand how to do that yet. So it looks like you can do some really fancy functional programming with this. So that's kind of cool. But I think what would be kind of fun is I got that one done. So I'll check it in. So let's say get status. And I guess because I'm kind of on this Copilot thing, I'm gonna do a little bit of Copilot as well. Let's do adding methods to this. The one I wanted to really play with next is also a command line tool. So we'll call this CLI Julia JL. So I don't know yet how to build a command line tool in Julia, which is kind of how I look at the world. And so can I use Copilot to do it? Let's see, is it smart enough? So build a hello world function. Okay, I like that. And now build a command line tool that calls the function. That's not correct. That's not correct. Build a command line tool So I need to now see Julia command line tools hopefully with not a library. Julia CLI tools. Tools. We got, is there a CLA tool? Blah, blah, blah. Echo. Let's see. Was a lot of drawbacks. Command line options. Julia. I guess you can pass additional arguments to your script. So that might be what I want. Um, do they have examples of this? For C scripting, for writing Julia scripts, how do I check? How do I pass options to Julia? So we probably want this, something like this. So let's try that. Maybe this will help Copilot be more like friendly, and I'll chmod it. And now call the function. Well, let's just start with this. Wait, let's do. Yeah, I guess first I'll just run this. So I'll just say CLI Julia. Okay, that worked. Now I want to build a function that you print command line arguments. That's what I want. Print args. The command line arguments are for arg and args. Okay. Now what? Call the function. Print args. Build a function to print the. No, that's not what I want. So I think this is what I want, but now if I call it, I say foo. Oh, okay. There you go. That's kind of cool. Foo bar. Oh, okay. Well, that's neat. Okay, we can put some documentation here and say, like, really simple example of interface, Julia function, usage. There we go. Look at this. The Copilot is not bad. So let's try it out. Let's try this out. So it helped me learn this. There you go. Okay, so I got my first command line tool. I'm excited. So now status, let's check this in. And I want to build something a little more sophisticated though. So we'll say adding CLI tool that parses, or that accepts things. But now let's build one that's smarter, that can parse arguments. So we'll say touch CLI Julia parse. And so I'm going to need to do the same stuff. And we'll say no, we don't care about that. But I need to chmod it. So we'll chmod it. Okay, Julia parse. So what I want to build something that parses options, I think. So parses options. And what would be the options that I would want to parse? Build a function to now we want to build a CLI tool that parses arguments. I don't know if there is a default one. And that's what we just built. So we need to look at this a little bit. parser. Parse options. I need to Google this. Parse options, Julia. Okay, what does this say? So this module allows the creation of user-friendly command line interfaces to Julia. So this is probably what I want. So this package can be installed using the Julia package manager from the command line. Don't totally understand how to use this, but I'm assuming this puts it into my environment. So if I run, well, first, if I just run Julia, I do that. That didn't work. So now I need to add Julia add packages. Amazing how the tooling is one of the most difficult parts of a problem. Okay, package is Julia's built-in package manager and handles the options such as installing, updating, removing packages. Upon entering the package REPL, you should see a prompt. Oh, so I need to maybe type this in, pkg. Okay, let's try it. So let's exit this here. pkg. Nope. Julia. pkg. Nope. That didn't work. So let's look at the documentation. All right. Let's see here. Welcome to the documentation for package. Julia's the document. Okay, we get this. Okay, that's nice. Getting started. Okay. So this guide relies on the package REPL. For non-interactive users, we recommend the package API. Yeah, that's interesting that they say getting started and they don't tell you how to get started. It's shocking. Like, okay, so I want to use your package manager. Welcome to through the manual, the REPL interface, the app documentation. Package is a complete rewrite of Julia's old package manager. So its approach is, so I do use virtual environment, so I know what that's like. I've used bundler. So in Julia, instead of hacking the language code, we have the benefit that it understands them. Okay, this is nice that you told me this. Background and design, I got that. Okay, getting started. Basic usage. Package comes with a REPL. But how do you use this? Where is it? Where's package? What is this? Do I have to do that? Do I have to put that little caret there, or what is this? It doesn't even tell me how to do hello world, which is what the not great documentation. How to invoke enter by package comes with it. Enter it by pressing this. Wow. From the Julia REPL. Okay. So there we go. Julia. And then that. Whoa. That is really creepy. That's so now I can do this and we could say add parse and let's add this in. Come on. Really? It's not a recommended. So we got that. So I'm in there. It's not a recommended command. But now look, I'm in there. Oh, but can be installed from the command line. But once you're in there, what do you do? So I want to add a package. Oh, you have to just say the name of the package once you're in there. So you say, You say add arg parse. Arg parse. Does this work? Oh, okay. I got it working. No, didn't get it working. Not found. Updating registry. The following package names could not be resolved. Arg parse not found in project manifest or registry. Wow. So that did not work. Oh, did I misspell it? I did. That's why. Okay. Promising. I know how to install packages in Julia, I think. The exits. X. How do you get out of this thing? Exit. I mean, come on. This is definitely an academic built this. not to be mean here, but like really? I can't get okay, there we go. I'm out. Okay. So in theory, that's installed. And so then I could do the help menu here. So we could say using argparse. And then we could try their hello world, build a function. No, I don't want that one. I want argparse documentation. Let's try this. This looks like it could be kind of good. And let's do that. Let's see. So that's argparse settings, an option. And then what's the rest of their documentation? So how do I want to, this looks like I would, the whole thing. This is what I want to try. So if I can get this working, I'm kind of excited. That means I could start to build actual useful tools in Julia. Let's see. Chmod plus X. I think I already did this, but let's try it again. We have parse. That should help. Oh, really cool. Okay, so I learned how to build. Theoretically, this could really open up some possibilities for me to now, next time I do Julia, to start writing functions, and then again trying Copilot. I'll put a little note here like, hey, build kick the tires with Copilot next time, and tell it to build functions. This is where I think this is like a new AI world where you can tell Copilot to start teaching you the language really, really quick, and maybe you can learn it 10 to 100 times faster. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so Julia, adding this, and so far so good. This is helpful. Adding Julia CLI, nice, and I learned how to use their weird syntax, which is awesome. All right, thank you again, Jeremy. Great tips there. All right.